I've been a fan of Vincent Zhao for some time and supported his work even through the rubbish with the hopes that one day he'll do something that's worthy. Sadly, Invisible Tattoo is not the project. I've sat through some duds such as God of War and Wudong, which I enjoyed a bit. Then there was Unity of Heroes, Warriors of the Nation, and Counterattack, which seems like masterpieces compared to this. Don't be fooled by the trailers which presented itself as an action film. There's barely any notable action here. Invisible Tattoo sees Vincent Zhao plays Chang, who is a member of the Black Dragon Society under the leadership of Boss Long. After being on the run for a job, he returns to his wife Pearl and his daughter Lan, but things are not going well with the couple. Pearl passes away after having a heart attack over an argument with Chang, and he is left to bring up their daughter. One job sees Chang and his two loyal sidekicks rob something that belongs to the Japanese. This results in Asano being sent over, representing the Japanese, to find the culprit, and this leads him to Chang. Chang is warned not to kill Asano at their own doorstep because he is the Japanese ambassador. Asano kills various associates of Chang, and this in turn makes Chang the prime suspect. Soon Chang and his daughter Lan are attacked, and he must clear his name. This is the loosest plot description I can give, for there's so much happening in this film, and half of it's irrelevant. Chang returning to a broken marriage, his wife's death, and his relationship with his daughter could have been the crux of the story, but it is skimmed over. Lan hates Chang, but they bond so quickly it makes everything that played out before pointless. It is mentioned that Chang is a member of the Kailing tattoo school. It means nothing to the overall story. At times there were hints that the tattoo aspect had greater meaning, but in the end it was all needless. It's just one absurd excuse for our villain to visit our protagonist. Then we have his close friends. One a dual pistol wielding sharpshooter named Yin Yang, and another is a fat friend named Lan Long. Both contribute nothing to the overall story. It's so forced into the film. One scene sees Chang diffusing a problem for Lan Long in a gambling den, but Chang quickly resolves the matter with the gamblers and make friends with them, and then they are just shot by Yin Yang. It made the whole scene seem pointless, and it felt like it was trying to establish this conflict between Chang and Yin Yang, but it never amounts to anything. Worst of all is the inclusion of a foreign circus performer named Xi Xianghong. The filmmaker spends a good amount of time establishing her and making her a love interest to Chang, but then for her to disappear from the story, then showing up pointlessly once again at the end. Then we have the much publicized inclusion of actor and parkour expert David Belle, who has no purpose. He appears midway through with nothing to do and just to disappear again, and then reappear during the final act. He does like one or two parkour moves and that's it. Playing the daughter is Chinese actress Wang Shengdi, but the grown-up version is played by Eurasian actress Shanti Liu, which is jarring and considering how little they resemble each other. Zhou has no chemistry with his daughter in this film, and it's awkward seeing them bond. The film is so schizophrenic. As mentioned, there are just so many random elements introduced and so many pointless characters added to the film, which in turn results in an uneven film. The film really doesn't know what it wants to be, but it's definitely not an action film. It wants to be a western, art house film, drama, action and comedy, but none of it works. Comedy appears so regularly, but none of it's funny. Then we have the martial arts, or the lack of it. There are brief snippets here and there where people are taken out with one or two strikes. There was a moment where it looked like it was going to turn into a decent fight scene, with Chang acknowledging his opponent, saying that he must be a good fighter, and then they fight, and it ends in like 20 seconds. Playing Asano, the Japanese villain, is veteran martial arts actor Kenya Sawada, who's fought Zhou before in Warriors of the Nation. In this film they do have a final showdown, but it doesn't last very long. In the fight there were snippets of quality, but not enough to make it worth sitting through the crap that came before. The only thing I can commend the film for are the sets and the wardrobe, which are of high quality. There's also moments of decent cinematography with some nice usage of shadows, but some moments can be a tad oversaturated or even overcolor corrected. This is probably the worst Vincent Zhao's output, and there's nothing worth watching here. Skip this film.